Before we rush into today, let's pause and thank God for what we already have. Take a slow breath, breathe in hope, breathe out worry. Ready to begin? Let's count your gifts together. Grateful for life and breath today, for waking up this morning to the quiet hum of a new day, for the simple gift of another sunrise, painting the sky with promise. Thankful for God's grace that has carried me, a constant presence through every moment, a whisper in the stillness, for another chance to try again, to be better, to love more deeply. Appreciation for protection, both seen and unseen, for the quiet ways I am kept safe, for the peace that settles in the middle of life's storms, a quiet anchor for the soul, for strength when I felt weak, a resilience I didn't know I had, forged in quiet perseverance, for healing physical, emotional, and spiritual, for the mending of wounds and the restoration of hope. Thankful for God's mercy that never runs out, a fresh stream every morning, for the courage to face the day, even when it feels hard, for the clarity that comes after confusion, a light for the next step, for the humility to learn and the willingness to be taught, for the forgiveness of sins, a clean slate, a burden lifted, for the precious gift of faith, a light in the darkness, for the unwavering hope for tomorrow, a promise of new possibilities. Grateful for family, whether near or far, the roots that ground me and the branches that reach out, for parents and guardians who shaped me, for the wisdom of elders and the joy of children, for friends who truly care, who listen, who show up without being asked, for friends who have become family, for the patience others have shown me, for the kindness of strangers, a small gesture that restores faith in humanity, for the profound lessons learned from hard seasons, the wisdom forged in fire, for the doors God closed for my protection, saving me from paths not meant for me. Thankful for the open doors that surprised me, leading to unexpected joy and growth. For the gift of reconciliation after conflict, the mending of relationships, for the safe communities that hold us, for the gift of hospitality, both given and received. Appreciation for the body that carries me, for the steady rhythm of my own heartbeat, a constant drum of life, for the deep, restorative power of a full night's sleep, for the senses that connect me to the world, the taste of fresh water, the scent of rain, the sight of the stars, for hands that can create and comfort, build and hold, for feet that can walk new paths and stand firm on solid ground, for mobility, for the ability to move through the world, for access to health care, and for caregivers who serve with compassion. Grateful for laughter that shakes the soul and for tears that cleanse it, for the quiet moments of reflection, the space to simply be, for the comfort of a warm blanket and the solace of a favorite song, for the simple joy of a home that offers shelter and safety, for reliable power and clean running water, for nourishing food and the blessing of a daily meal, for stable work and the dignity it provides, for safe transportation that carries me where I need to go, for the creativity that allows for new ideas and expressions, for the curiosity that keeps my mind engaged and learning. Thankful for the beauty of the natural world, for the majesty of mountains and the vastness of the ocean, for the gentle rustle of leaves and the symphony of birdsong, for the changing of the seasons, each with its own purpose and beauty, for the first rains after a dry spell and the clear skies after a storm, for the quiet of a forest and the life-giving flow of a river, for wildflowers growing in unexpected places, for the comfort of pets and the simple love they offer. Grateful for mentors and teachers who have guided my way, for the community that surrounds me, a network of support and connection, for the opportunity to serve, to give back, to make a small difference, for the beauty found in art, in music that soothes the spirit, in stories that expand the heart, in paintings that capture a fleeting moment, for handmade gifts crafted with love, for the present moment, this very breath, a gift in itself, for the promises in scripture that anchor my soul, for the quiet assurance of God's presence in the stillness, for the unconditional love that holds everything together, a reminder that I am never truly alone, for the doors that opened unexpectedly, revealing paths I never imagined, and for the wise counsel that helped me walk through them. and for the doors that close, protecting me from what wasn't meant for me, a quiet redirection of my steps. Thankful for the provision for our daily needs, for the simple abundance that sustains us, for a home that offers shelter and warmth, a sanctuary from the world's demands. Grateful for a place to rest and sleep, for the restorative peace that comes with a quiet night, for the gift of hospitality, both given and received, for food on the table, nourishing our bodies and bringing us together, for clean water to drink, a fundamental blessing we often overlook, for reliable power and safe transportation, the quiet engines of our daily lives. Appreciation for the ability to walk or to learn, for the chance to engage our minds and skills, for the mentors and teachers who have guided my understanding, for the feeling of purpose in my life, a compass that guides my days and gives meaning to my efforts. Thankful for God's presence in the quiet moments, a comforting and steady reassurance that I am never alone, for the promises in scripture that anchor my soul, for the prayers that were answered, affirming that I am heard and seen, and for the prayers that were delayed for a reason, teaching me patience and trust in a greater plan, for the grace that is new every morning, a fresh start offered without condition, for the tears that brought healing, washing away pain and making space for peace to enter. Grateful for the joy that returned after a season of sorrow, a reminder that light always follows darkness. For the wisdom gained through difficult experiences, and for the teachable failures that became stepping stones, for the lessons that have shaped who I am, for every opportunity to grow, to stretch beyond my comfort zone and discover my own resilience, for the humility to learn from my mistakes, for the courage to keep going, even when the path forward is unclear, and for the strength to take the next right step, for the peace that doesn't make sense, a calm that settles in my heart amidst the chaos, for the quiet of the early morning and the stillness of the late evening. Thankful for the small joys, a warm cup of tea, the comfort of a soft blanket, the satisfaction of creating with my own hands, for the simple gift of birdsong on a quiet morning, a natural melody of hope, for the beauty found in craftsmanship and handmade gifts, expressions of care made tangible, appreciation for the sound of laughter, both my own and that of those I love, for the friends who have become family, for the steady rhythm of my own heartbeats, a constant reminder of the life within me, for the progress of healing, however slow, for the unexpected kindness of strangers, small acts that restore faith in humanity, for the patience and compassion shown to me by others, for the majesty of nature from the mountains to the oceans that inspires awe and perspective, for the clean air in the forest and the rhythm of the waves, grateful for the opportunity to help others, to give back from the abundance I have received, for the gift of this present moment, the only time that is truly ours, for the clarity that comes in stillness, for the lessons learned from the past, and for the memories that bring a fond smile, for the hope that lights the way to the future, an anchor for the soul, for the profound truth of unconditional love and the knowledge that I am never truly alone, for the mercy that forgives and the grace that restores. Thankful for creativity and imagination, for the stories and poems that give voice to experience, for the music that soothes the spirit and the songs that lift my faith. Appreciation for the comfort of pets and the simple, unconditional love they offer, for the ability to set healthy boundaries, protecting my inner peace, for the courage to speak my truth with kindness, for the gift of self-acceptance and the freedom it brings, for this breath and the next, for the quiet invitation to simply be and to rest in this moment of gratitude. God's promises in scripture, forgiveness, I learned to give, the strength to let go, new beginnings, small victories, big breakthroughs, rest after exhaustion, a sound mind. For the ability to choose gratitude, even when it's difficult. For the quiet strength found in acknowledging the good and the humility to accept what I cannot change. Thankful for the simple act of noticing the beauty in the everyday, the way sunlight falls across a room, the taste of a warm drink on a cool morning. Appreciation for the peace that settles in a thankful heart, a stillness that quiets the noise of the world. Grateful for the courage to be vulnerable and for the self-acceptance that grows from that honesty. For the clarity that comes after long periods of confusion, like a fog lifting to reveal the path forward. For divine timing. For the patience to trust the unfolding of life's plan even when it doesn't make sense. Thankful for closed doors that protected me from paths not meant for me, and for the unexpected open doors that surprised me with grace. Grateful for the wisdom to wait, to listen, and to discern the right moment. For the quiet moments where I feel a guiding presence, a gentle nudge in the right direction. Appreciation for prayers answered in ways I never could have imagined, and for the faith that sustains me during the waiting, for the precious gift of today, for waking up to a new morning filled with new mercies and a fresh start. Appreciation for this very breath, this present moment, a sacred space to simply exist. Thankful for the chance to simply be, without the pressure to do. Grateful for the rhythm of my own heartbeat, a constant, steady reminder of the life within me. For the feeling of my feet on the ground, anchoring me to this time and this place. For the promise of tomorrow, for the hope that springs eternal, painting the future with light and possibility. Grateful for the potential that each new day holds, a blank canvas awaiting our first brushstroke. For the courage to look ahead with optimism, even when yesterday was heavy. Thankful for the dreams that stir in my heart, the visions of what could be. Appreciation for the strength to plan, to build, and to step forward into the unknown with faith as my guide.
For second chances, for the grace to begin again, to learn and to grow from my mistakes. Thankful for the opportunity to make amends and the profound freedom of forgiveness, both given and received. For the renewal that follows a season of rest and reflection. Grateful for the healing of old wounds, for scars that tell a story of survival and strength. Appreciation for the journey of recovery, for every small step forward on the path to wholeness, for the beauty that can emerge from what was once broken, for the lessons that shaped my character, for the challenges that built resilience and the struggles that brought hard-won wisdom. Appreciation for the strength I didn't know I had until I was tested, for the person I am becoming through it all. Thankful for teachable failures, for the humility they bring and the growth they inspire. Grateful for the mentors and elders whose guidance has illuminated my path, and for the wise counsel that arrived at just the right moment, for hope restored, for the light that breaks through the clouds after a long storm, a promise of clearing skies. Grateful for the moments of clarity that reaffirm my faith and renew my spirit, for the unwavering belief in better days, a hope that anchors the soul. Thankful for the promises in scripture that serve as a lifeline in turbulent waters. Appreciation for the small signs of progress, the glimmers of light that keep me going when the way is dark. For unfailing, unconditional love, for the grace that meets me exactly where I am, in my weakness and in my strength. Thankful for the warmth of a loving embrace and the kindness of a gentle heart. For the love that surrounds me, seen and unseen, a constant and abiding presence. Grateful for the love of family, for the roots that ground me and the wings that encourage me to fly. Appreciation for the patience and compassion I have received from others, a reflection of a divine love that never gives up on me, for the certainty that I am never alone, for the comfort of companionship on this journey of life. Appreciation for friends who feel like family, who know my history and cheer for my future, for the quiet presence that walks beside me always, a source of unending comfort, for the deep connection that reminds me I belong. Thankful for the kindness of strangers, for brief moments of shared humanity that brighten a day. Grateful for a safe community, for neighbors who look out for one another, and for the peace that comes from reconciled relationships, for the peace that comes from letting go, for the quiet of the early morning and the deep restorative rest that comes after a long day. Thankful for this moment of reflection, for the space to breathe and to feel. Grateful for a heart that is learning slowly but surely to be full of gratitude, for the gentle sounds of nature, the rustling leaves, the distant bird song, a symphony of peace, for the stillness where God's presence is most deeply felt, and for the quiet assurance that all is and will be well. Thanks for watching. If this encouraged you, subscribe for more.